This is One Broke Gamer Girl, and this is my review of Uno for the PlayStation 4. You would think that after playing Jeopardy, which you can find my review of in the description below, that I would stay away from this type of game, especially because it was made by Ubisoft. I didn't though, because the cheap price tag of under $5 was too tempting to just pass up. It took me about a little bit more than a week to actually finish up and get all the trophies, which means that it's time for a review. As with a lot of these games in this series of games like Jeopardy, Monopoly, Wheel of Fortune, and so on, there is no actual story to this game. Uno is a card game, plain and simple, and you can either play by yourself, picking and choosing what rules you want to play with, or play in the still very active online community with other people. There are a bunch of different ways to play, and you can actually have yourself a pretty decent time playing. This was an impulse buy, and I completely had buyer's remorse after purchasing this game because of the horrible time I had with Jeopardy. I decided, though, that I would give this game an actual chance, and I'm really happy that I did. I really enjoyed the mixing and matching of the rules and creating a different set of rules each time you played, or sticking with the rules that you enjoyed using. This made every game unique and interesting, and even though a lot of the games lasted for a long time, even playing at one round, it was still fun and exciting as you tried to come up with some kind of strategy to try and win. Not to mention that using different decks of cards made for some interesting changes to the game that made it even more fun. Both playing with the AI and playing online was extremely fun, and the time I spent with this game was really fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. The playability of this game was super simple, to where you basically just have to know how to play Uno. At times, if you play with the custom rules, it can take a little while to get used to, but if you can't adjust, you can always shut them off, which is a good thing. I was happy to see that everything just worked perfectly with this game, and there were no bugs or glitches that I seen during my many hours of playtime. The graphics for this game are simple. When playing the normal Uno deck, this works because it's a game of Uno and it felt like you were really playing the game. Now switch to the Rabbids deck, and the graphics become completely different and kind of crazy in that Rabbids sort of way. This was a neat little change, and I enjoyed going back and forth between the traditional Uno deck and the Rabbids deck, although I will say that the Rabbids deck was my favorite because of how crazy everything became, even the graphics. There are a total of 13 trophies for this game, and 12 of them are extremely easy to get, and just one will require some coordination, since the goal is to reach 700 points in one game. I suggest getting this trophy with a friend. I would like to take a small moment to thank LMD for helping me with this trophy, but other than that one trophy, everything else just really requires you to play the game and take advantage of all the game has to offer. This is rare for me to say, so don't expect it too often, but I really enjoyed the multiplayer portion of this game. It's still extremely active, and it's not at all hard to find a game. Plus, it's fun to play with other people. The servers can be a little sketchy at times, but not as bad as the Jeopardy servers, and there are a few sore losers and cheaters out there, but that's what happens with any online game. Anyway, I had a really fun time playing online with different people. Overall, I give this game a 4 out of 5. Here's what's great about it. It's the same Uno that everyone knows and loves, with some new rules thrown in for good measure and to make the game more exciting. Also, have I mentioned how cool the Rabbids deck of cards is? It completely changes the game in a good way. Not to mention, there's still an active online community with mostly stable servers, making it really fun to actually play online with other people. Here's what's not so great about this game. There are, of course, some cheaters in multiplayer, but that's what any game has, and I didn't take any points off for that. Also, a lot of the games run really long. I'm talking like an hour to an hour and a half long, and at times it becomes a little tedious, and you just really want someone, anyone, to go out so the damn game could be over. This was a really fun game, and it's one that I still keep on my PlayStation 4, even though I have all the trophies, because I can see myself logging on every so often to play a game or two, either online or offline. The price tag that I paid wasn't a bad one, and the actual price of $9.99 isn't a bad one, because there is a bunch of playtime involved with this game. If you're an Uno fan, I would suggest giving this game a chance. Just beware that just about every game is really long. If you aren't an Uno fan, then of course you're going to want to skip this one. But if you're looking for a card game to play, I would say that this is one of the better ones on the PlayStation 4.